Hi, I'm Dominic. Welcome to Plain Talking. Today's proverb, probably everybody of us has heard once in a lifetime from their parents. Don't go out in the cold with wet hair or you get sick. Well, that's wrong, completely. But why have generations of parents just told that their kids? Well, there's several causes for that. Back in the 19th century, in 1878, the Frenchman Louis Pasteur had a strange experiment. He exposed chickens to anthrax and then dipped their feet in icy water. After that, he covered one half of the chickens in blankets and the other half not. The chickens that were warmed from the blankets didn't get the anthrax and survived, and the other chickens died. Since that is not very scientific and the actual cause hadn't been found back then, it's not very reliable. Later in the 20th century, the Germans found out that it was 4 times more likely to get a cold or to get sick when sleeping in cold and wet trenches instead of sleeping in dry barracks. And although the actual cause had been discovered 20 or 30 years before that, people just didn't make the connection yet. So what is the actual cause? It's viruses. There's over 200 viruses that can cause several symptoms of a cold. Now that we know the actual cause for a cold, why is it that more people get sick in winter than in summer? Well, there's several causes to that. In winter, people stay in more often. So we stay in more often with other people, and that makes it much likelier for the germs to spread around and to infect other people, because there's always people who are carrying the virus but have not gotten sick yet. Second, in winter the air is much drier than in summer because cold air contains less humidity than warm air. And that cold and dry air dries out our nasal mucous membrane, what makes it easier accessible for viruses. Conclusion: it's not cold that causes a cold, it's viruses. So if your 4-year-old sick cousin just sneezed on you and you go outside with wet hair, it's definitely a possibility that you get a cold. If you just go out with wet hair, you just get a cold head, and if it's really freezing cold and you have a soaking wet head, you might just get an icicle hairdo, just like Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in Titanic. That's it so far for today. If you like the show, hit the subscribe button down below or leave me a comment where you post a proverb or saying you want to have discussed, and I will be glad to pick it up in one of my following shows. This is Dominic for Plain Talking. Have a good night.